The psychology of people who never chase validation. The people who attract the most respect are often the ones who seem least interested in earning everyone's approval. It's a strange contradiction. The harder some people try to be liked, the more they get overlooked. Meanwhile, others simply live by their values, and people naturally gravitate toward them. Why does that happen? Let's explore the psychology behind it. By the end of this video, you'll discover one habit that quietly signals self-respect. It's subtle, but it often changes how other people respond to you without you saying a word. Have you ever caught yourself replaying a conversation in your head? Maybe you wondered if you said the wrong thing. Maybe you hoped everyone liked you, or maybe you wished you had explained yourself better. Most of us have been there. Wanting acceptance is part of being human. Psychologists have long recognized that people have a fundamental need to belong. Seeking connection isn't a weakness, it's normal. The challenge begins when approval becomes more important than authenticity. I've noticed something interesting over the years. The people who seem the most comfortable in their own skin aren't trying to win every room. They're not constantly checking whether everyone agrees with them. They listen, they contribute, and then they move on. At first, that can look like indifference, but often it's something much healthier. It's self-acceptance. There's an important difference between wanting to be respected and needing constant validation. Respect usually grows from consistent behavior over time. Validation depends on immediate reactions. One is built, the other is chased, and chasing it can become exhausting. Think about social media for a moment. It's easy to post something and immediately start checking the likes, comments, or views. There's nothing wrong with enjoying positive feedback. The problem comes when your mood rises and falls entirely because of other people's reactions. That's giving strangers more control over your emotions than they should have. People who don't chase validation usually have something else guiding them: internal standards. Instead of asking, "Did everyone like what I did?" they ask, "Did I act according to my values?" That shift changes everything. Another pattern I've noticed is that these people don't explain every decision they make, not because they're secretive, because they understand something many of us learn the hard way. Not everyone needs to approve of your choices. If you've thought carefully about a decision, listened to feedback, and accepted the consequences, endless explanations rarely change someone's opinion. Sometimes they simply drain your energy. Another quality is that they're comfortable saying, "I don't know." Ironically, admitting uncertainty often builds more trust than pretending to know everything. It shows confidence that's grounded in honesty rather than image. They're also willing to disappoint people when necessary. That doesn't mean they're rude or selfish. It means they recognize that saying yes to everything often means saying no to their own priorities. Healthy boundaries can disappoint people, but boundaries are part of healthy relationships. One of the biggest misconceptions is that people who don't seek validation don't care what anyone thinks. That's rarely true. Most still value feedback. The difference is that they don't let every opinion determine their identity. They ask, "Is this criticism useful?" If yes, they learn from it. If not, they let it go. That's a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. I've also learned that people tend to trust those who appear comfortable with themselves, not because they're perfect, because they don't seem to be performing. There's a quiet consistency in how they speak, how they treat people, and how they respond under pressure. That consistency builds credibility over time. Another lesson is that validation is temporary. No matter how much praise you receive today, tomorrow you'll probably want more. That's why relying entirely on external approval can feel like chasing a finish line that keeps moving. Internal confidence grows differently. It grows from keeping promises to yourself, from learning, improving, owning mistakes, and continuing anyway. Here's something worth remembering.
You don't have to convince everyone that you're valuable. Your actions will always speak longer than your explanations. And not everyone is supposed to understand your journey. The goal isn't universal approval. It's becoming someone you respect when nobody else is watching. Because at the end of the day, the relationship you have with yourself is the one you'll live with every single day. If you want to stop chasing validation, practice these 5 habits. Make decisions based on your values, not popularity. Accept that not everyone will agree with you. Listen to feedback without letting it define you. Set healthy boundaries even when they're uncomfortable. Build self-respect by keeping promises to yourself. Real confidence grows from consistency, not constant applause. I'd like to hear your perspective. Do you think people today rely too much on external validation, or is seeking approval simply part of being human? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring psychology, communication, and human behavior in a practical way, subscribe so you don't miss the next video.